Now.
Another 550 Mississippians test positive for COVID-19. That's the latest numbers from the state health department. Thank you for staying up with us tonight. Here in our region, Pontotoc County had the most new cases with 14. Chickasaw had 10. Tibahaw and Lowndes recorded 9 new cases. Health officials report minor decreases in patients on ventilators, and patients in ICU. 75% of the cases do not require hospitalization. It's a little good news there. Now, across the state line, Lamar County records its first death. 964 new cases are reported in Alabama today. Well, that rise in COVID-19 cases is prompting changes in Tupelo. Mayor Jason Shelton signs a new order requiring people in Tupelo to wear face masks in public. The Tupelo Economic Recovery Task Force and NMMC requested the city to adopt a policy. Now, if you go into any indoor place or a business, this new order states that you must wear a face mask. Businesses are encouraged to post signs that let customers know that you need to be wearing a mask before you go inside. This order, it goes into effect Monday morning. To read the full order, you can visit our website at WCBI.com. The White House Coronavirus Task Force briefed reporters today for the first time in 2 months amid an alarming escalation in the coronavirus pandemic. The development comes as President Trump asked the Supreme Court to strike down the Affordable Care Act, which millions of Americans depend on for coverage. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
As you can see, we are facing a serious problem in certain areas.
In the first public briefing in nearly 2 months, Vice President Pence and members of the Coronavirus Task Force acknowledged surging cases in a number of states.
As we are reminded, as we see cases rising across the South, that we still have work to do.
If we want to end this outbreak, really end it, and then hopefully when a vaccine comes and puts the nail in the coffin, we've got to realize that we are part of the process.
The vice president says he'll visit some of the hot spots, including Texas, Arizona, and Florida. Still, the Trump administration maintains it's now better prepared to handle the surge.
The reality is we're in a much better place.
Task force officials urge the public, especially young people, to follow safety measures such as wearing masks. But the vice president defended President Trump's decision to move forward with large rallies.
We're creating settings where people can choose to participate in the political process, and we'll continue to do that.
Amid the pandemic, the Trump administration is once again taking aim at the Affordable Care Act, asking the Supreme Court to strike it down. The Trump administration filed an 82-page brief 1 hour before a midnight deadline. The brief argues that the law is unconstitutional after Congress ended one part of the statute. Lawmakers eliminated the tax penalty for those who don't buy health insurance.
If you have a pre-existing condition, you will no longer have the benefit of access to quality care. And the list goes on of the benefits that it would overturn.
Speaker Pelosi is expected to bring up a bill next week designed to strengthen the Affordable Care Act. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The Supreme Court is expected to hear arguments on the case during its next term in the fall. A decision is not likely until 2021. Tupelo Public School District has released a blueprint for reopening schools, that is, for the upcoming school year. TPSD will offer parents the option of allowing their children to attend classes in person or through virtual learning. Those who opt for the traditional schedule, they'll have self-contained classes. TPSD staff will teach the virtual lessons. Students will be provided with copies of textbooks and workbooks to use at home. All K through 12th grade students will be given a Chromebook by the district. Masks will be encouraged for students and teachers. They can use masks at their own discretion. Also, the district will provide masks and face shields for the students and teachers. Students will also get their temperatures checked every day. TPSD starts its school year on August 12th.
Well, a very rainy and dreary Friday afternoon. Take a look at the time lapse today from Vernon. Several rounds of showers there, and then the sun begins to set. The clouds continue to stick around, though. Overnight tonight, we're going to remain mostly cloudy. We're looking at 69 for the low. Just a few very isolated showers. I think we pick up a better chance for more showers by the time you wake up on your Saturday morning. Speaking of Saturday, again, some morning showers and then the chance for some pop-up storms as we get into the afternoon. So about a 20 to 30 30% chance for rain through the day tomorrow. Just keep the umbrella handy. We're looking at 88 for the high. 90 for your Sunday. The chance for pop-up storms continuing. I've got more details in my full forecast in just a bit. Scott.
All right, Trevor, thanks so much. Well, Mississippi state flag still flies tonight, but all eyes are on the state capitol this weekend as lawmakers decide whether a move that could lead to a change in the embattled banner will move forward. Our Quentin Smith has more from Jackson.
As the state flag wavers in the wind, so does its fate. In order for lawmakers to vote on whether the flag flies or is furled, they need 81 votes in the House and 34 votes from senators, giving them the authority to make that decision. It's a decision that some have mixed views about.
I don't really want to suspend the rules. I'm in favor of having a vote by the people, and if we can get that done, that would be good.
We got to do a little convincing to certain people because that they made commitments when they're in their campaigns not to do certain things, and so we don't want anybody to go back on their word to their people back home. But we got to do what is sometimes best for the overall Mississippi.
Some lawmakers still aren't sure if the numbers will add up.
I'm confident that the House of Representatives has enough votes to move forward, but I'm not sure about the Senate.
But I feel very comfortable saying that if they could bring about a new flag, a majority of members of the House and a majority of members of the Senate would want that to happen. But that doesn't necessarily mean they'll vote that way.
State leaders are still tackling the challenging task of changing both hearts and minds.
I haven't been in on any of that. They haven't contacted me, but I think they know where I stand, so that may be one of the reasons.
It's really tough because, people feel like, hey, I got to get reelected. And I promise these people.
Everything is changing so quickly. I do not know. I don't know procedurally where we are. I don't know where the votes are.
Now, legislators return to the Capitol tomorrow morning if lawmakers are able to get enough votes to pass a resolution suspending the rules to vote on this matter. Governor Tate Reeves has indicated that he would not veto that bill. Across the country, protesters have been vandalizing and toppling monuments they say are tied to America's racist past. Now, what seems like an unlikely target is in the crosshairs of some activists. Chip Reed has the very latest from Washington.
12 blocks from the U.S. Capitol stands a statue of Abraham Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation in his hand. Dedicated in 1876, it was paid for by African Americans, but designed by an all-white committee and has long been controversial. Not because of Lincoln, but because of the subservient position of the enslaved African American man kneeling before him.
Here we have a man who is clearly being demeaned.
Political activist Marcus Goodwin started a petition to have the statue removed.
He's in shackles. He's not even clothed, where the magnanimous emancipator Abraham Lincoln is showed standing above him, well-dressed with his arm extended.
Are you angry?
Protesters have gathered here for days, and some have threatened to tear it down, just like so many other statues they call symbols of white supremacy. Police have built barriers to protect the statue from a violent end.
They're agitators and they're anarchists.
On Fox News last night, President Trump threw down the gauntlet at those who would destroy statues.
Every night we're going to get tougher and tougher.
Today, he tweeted the FBI's wanted poster for 15 people who allegedly tried to tear down the statue of President Jackson in front of the White House, and he included a threat of 10-year prison sentences.
There are concerns here that some protesters tonight could try to tear down that statue. But so far, everything is perfectly peaceful right here in Lincoln Park. Chip Reed, CBS News, Washington.
All right, we're going to send things back over to meteorologist Trevor Birch. Trevor, not a good pool forecast.
No, but the good news is you're working this weekend, so you can't go to the pool anyway.
I don't know if that's good news or not, but yes.
It certainly is good news. I think most people will be able to squeeze in at least a little bit of time at the pool. Same thing if you're trying to do some yard work. We will have some morning showers tomorrow. We will be monitoring the chance for some very isolated afternoon pop-up storms. I'll have full details on timing and the 7-day forecast right after this. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert Accuweather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Birch.
Well, if you aren't saying rain, rain, go away just yet, you might be after you see that 7-day forecast. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. Let's take a look outside now at what's going on radar. I mentioned to you at 9 o'clock on the CW, we had some showers over on I-55, and those have basically dwindled out. We are still seeing some light patchy drizzle out there, and there are a few pockets of showers out there. What we're watching now, though, is this next batch of showers that's going to come in here just in time for the early morning hours. So I think we're dry for the most part, at least until about 3, 4, 5 o'clock on your Saturday morning. Here's the wider picture right now. We've got high pressure that's off to our south. So this cloud cover and rainfall kind of circulating counterclockwise around that. There's our batch of showers we're going to be watching. But aside from the rainfall, plenty of cloud cover across the Twin States right now. And the rainfall actually helped to get some of that dust out of the air. So the dust is still here. We just can't really see it, and it's not having as big of an impact as it is on us as it is for other people thanks to the rainfall that we saw today. 69 for the low tonight. We'll call it mostly cloudy. Still, the chance of a few showers out there, especially by the time you wake up early tomorrow morning. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. We'll show you that in the form of the Emerson Animal Hospital forecast. Isn't he just the cutest thing? Whoever's dog this is, please let me know. I would love to dog set whatever you need. That is just the most adorable dog I think I've ever seen. He's going to give you the forecast for tomorrow. A few showers tomorrow morning. We're looking at 79 by the time you wake up. Into the afternoon, into the mid-80s with the chance of a pop-up storm or two. Not everybody going to see rain tomorrow, especially in the afternoon, but there will be some isolated storms out there. Waking up tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., as I mentioned, some morning showers out there. Those stick around until 9 or 10, I think, and then basically through the lunchtime, most of us are going to stay dry. Maybe even a few peaks of sunshine out there, but that daytime heating helps some of those storms to pop up. You see them there. Again, very scattered in nature. Not everybody's seeing rain, but wherever these storms decide to pop up, you'll get a brief downpour, maybe some gusty winds. That's going to be at a time frame of about 2 p.m. until 7 or 8. I think after 8, we dry out and the cloud cover even clears out. And we kind of do that all over again. Going into Sunday, cloud cover builds back in, and then we have the chance once again for some more isolated pop-up showers or storms through the day on Sunday. Very unpredictable this time of year, these pop-up storms. So just a reminder, download the free WCBI News app for Apple and Android. You can actually track the storms there if you're planning on being outside at the barbecue or the pool tomorrow. Check that interactive radar and you can see exactly where the storms are starting to pop up tomorrow. Rain chances continue here for the next several days. Better rain chances, though, as we get toward the middle and end of the week. Thursday and Friday looking pretty wet. Highs staying close to 90, overnight lows in the 70s.
Business is back in downtown Fulton and across the area. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. And Etowah County City is seeing an upswing in commercial development despite recent COVID-19 related shutdowns. WCBI's Allie Martin has more on what is helping drive the economic resurgence in the town.
Several years ago, downtown Fulton had a lot of empty buildings. Much of the commercial development had left, but recently there's been a revitalization of sorts, and it's led mostly by locals who want to see the area prosper.
We wanted to give a nod to history. We wanted to give a nod to the growth of Fulton.
Brittany Moore and her husband Corey purchased the old Gaither building on Fulton's town square. Original plans called for their boutique, Chasing Portland, to occupy all of the space, but other vendors now rent some of the space at the historic building as sort of a retail business incubator.
Hopefully those businesses can grow large enough to fill some of our empty buildings and keep growing in Etowah County.
Chasing Portland was open for 1 week before COVID-19 related shutdowns took effect. But since those restrictions were lifted, business has been booming.
When we opened the doors, everybody was ready to go. Downtown has been hustling and bustling, ready to get in here.
Just northeast of the square, Jimmy Wilson put new life into an old gas station and auto parts store when he opened Porch Swing Pickings. He sells farmhouse decor and artificial flowers. He also rents space to vendors who sell everything from food, arts and crafts, and antiques. Wilson is glad many of the old landmarks are homes to new businesses.
I kept coming by and seeing this building, and it was pretty much an eyesore. When we were coming into town, it was like the gateway of Fulton. I wanted to do something that would clean it up and bring more people in, so I think we've succeeded in that.
Several miles away, the lunch rush is in full swing at Guy's Place. Jason Beecham took over the restaurant earlier this year. The setting on Midway Marina provides a unique atmosphere for lunch and dinner. Beecham says people support local businesses because those businesses give back to the community.
People really appreciate a local business, and we have great support and love from our community. And we try to give that back in many ways as well. For instance, when the schools, for a brief period, weren't giving lunches to the kids who may have relied on that every day during school, we actually gave away almost around 200 school lunches to kids.
The owner of Guy's Place on the Water says he expects business to continue picking up throughout the summer with traffic from the marina and people coming in from the town and surrounding areas. In Fulton, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The owner of Porch Swing Pickings says sales this past May broke all previous records for the same month over a 3-year period. TCPS and its high-flying offense will be back and better than ever in 2020. Our preview with the Eagles coming up next in sports.
Sports with Tom Ebel.
Stop number 5 on the high school football tour takes us to Belden, Mississippi, previewing the TCPS Eagles. After reaching the postseason for the 3rd straight year, just getting there isn't enough for the Eagles. A talented team returns and has its sights set on making a deep postseason run.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
We're going to go get a ring.
The TCPS Eagles look to soar over the competition as they head into the 2020 season. Head coach Sean Holliday brings back an experienced bunch featuring 20 seniors who all believe this year is their year.
My kids have really been working hard on their own, and it showed when we were able to start getting back together a couple of weeks ago. So this year, we made it to the playoffs last year. This year, we're hoping to get in and win a few games in the playoffs.
It's probably be like the best year I've had so far, or since I've been here. So it should be a really great year.
Last season, the Eagles fell short against some of the top teams in the division, but believe the experience they gained will take their game to new heights.
I'm going to depend on that experience, that leadership, and those guys that have been in those battles, that hopefully this year that'll help us get through those tough games.
Leading the flock is a dynamic duo of Kai Holliday and Noah Foster. Holliday had just shy of 4,700 total yards last season and 58 total TDs. Foster hauled in 19 of those touchdown passes. The two created their on-field chemistry to their off-field friendship.
We've been playing baseball since we were like 5, so we really got great chemistry. And last year it was football, it just clicked just like that, so it should click again this year. We've been best friends since we was 9 years old, playing baseball and stuff together, and we was always throwing the ball in the backyard, so I already know what he gonna do when he running the route, and he know where I'm gonna throw it.
When it's crunch time, the Eagles know they can turn to Kai to make a big play.
When he gets the ball, you know something's gonna happen. Like when he has the ball, it's gonna happen no matter what.
He hates to lose more than he loves to win. And when you've got a senior that's willing to do whatever it takes for the team, the rest of the team falls and they follow that.
Coach Holliday believes that mentality is a staple of the team and will ultimately pay off.
Hard work turns about success.
TCPS kicks off the season on the road against Tishomingo County August 21st. Reporting in Tupelo, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Tupelo Christian Preparatory School is sponsored by Zip Scripts in Tupelo.
The torch continues to roll along this weekend as we preview 1A schools. Okolona French Camp for Saturday and Sunday. Then we begin next week with Hamilton, Vardaman, Myrtle, and Baldwin before jumping into 2A toward the end of next week. East Union Friday, Mantachie Saturday, and Bruce for your Sunday. Major League Baseball clubs continue to lock up their draft picks from earlier this month. Former Ole Miss Rebel and Mississippi State commit officially signed to the big leagues. Mississippi State commit Austin Hendrick won't be making it to Starkville. The 12th overall pick signing with the Cincinnati Reds on a $4 million contract will likely play outfield in the pros. Former Ole Miss third baseman Tyler Keenan signs with the Seattle Mariners. Keenan agreeing to a $500,000 deal. Keenan was the 107th overall pick in the 4th round in the 2020 MLB draft. That's it for sports. We'll be back right after the break.
Some spotty showers tomorrow, maybe some more isolated pop-up showers and storms by the afternoon. Not a complete washout though. And a really similar story for Sunday and Monday. Just a few high-passing clouds out there. Some afternoon pop-up storms. Not everybody going to get wet though. Better rain chances, Scott, coming in Tuesday through the end of the week. Thursday, Friday, those might be the days you just want to keep that umbrella handy. Highs generally staying right around 90, hot and humid with those overnight lows generally in the low 70s.
Hey, Trevor, I will say, earlier this week, those darker clouds were on Saturday and Sunday.
They were.
They look a little lighter today.
Yeah, I made them not so dramatic because I don't think drastic. I think is what I meant to say.
It's okay.
I don't think it's going to be a washout.
There we go. All right. Thanks, Trevor. Thanks for watching, everyone.